Hello, everybody. Sorry about the long delayed posting. I don't know. I just haven't really felt like doing it. It's getting to be a pain where I have some time off and then I have to fucking get everything together to do the DVD updates. So I don't know how much longer I'm even going to be doing those, if I'm going to be doing them ever again. Uh, but I want to keep doing videos. I want to keep doing um, vlogs or vlogs, whatever the fuck you want to call them. So what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna start doing. I actually want to do a pod. I want to start doing podcasts because those might be a little bit easier for me because then I don't have to get the camera out and stuff. But I don't know yet because I kind of went. My brother and I did podcasts for a little while a few years ago. It actually is kind of a pain in the ass. Especially because I don't really remember how to do them. But I might do them. I don't know. If I do, I will make sure to let you guys know, and then you guys can listen to them if you want to. What I'm gonna do from from now on, at least I'm gonna try it and see if you guys like it. Is I'm just gonna do podcasts. I'm just gonna do videos where I talk about movie related stuff, TV related stuff, music related stuff, whatever, what have you. I'm actually going to do this video on. I'm going to talk about the Batman films because I just saw Dark Knight Rises. I actually saw the midnight showing here, and I really liked it. So I'm actually going to talk about all of the Batman movies in this video. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing I want to do is though I do want to express my condolences to anybody who was part of the Aurora, Colorado shooting. It was a terrible thing that happened. Every time I think about it, it terrifies me because I was at a midnight showing, not in Colorado. I don't live in Colorado, but I was in a midnight showing, and I just think back, when we were watching the movie and just that happening. I mean, I can't even believe something like that happened, and I feel very, very bad for anyone who was at that theater, and obviously for those who lost their lives, I'm terribly sorry that anything like that ever happened. Um, but let's move on because that was basically the elephant in the room. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone understood my feelings towards that before I went on talking about this. So first off, I'm going to talk about the Batman film starting with the 1966 Batman, which I actually do have here on Blu-ray. The reason I'm talking about this is because this is how I basically see the beginning of the Batman films. There were serials in the 40s and stuff, but those were serials. They weren't intended to be feature-length films. So this one right here is the first feature-length Batman film. And yes, it was based on the 60s TV show, so it's incredibly campy. I categorize it as a comedy more than anything. It's not really an action film. It's a comedy, flat out. It's interesting because as time went on, the Batman films had two villains. They would always start off the first movie with one villain and then move on with two. This one had four. So it actually had the Joker, played by Cesar Romero, the Riddler, played by Frank Gorshin, Catwoman, played by Lee Merriweather, and the Penguin, played by Burgess Meredith. So it had the four main villains, if you will, the four villains that everyone knew and whatnot. But it's a comedy. It's a movie about the four of them trying to take over the world with the it wasn't called United Nations. It was called like United Alliance or something like that. But it was at the United Nations building. So, but it was what it was for its time. It was the first Batman film. It was just really an hour and a half TV episode. So, but what's interesting is I don't understand is that Warner Brothers and Fox are going through like this big fucking thing with the 60s TV show not being released on DVD because, what is it, Warner Brothers owns the name, but Fox owns the show or something like that. And they can't come to an understanding or an agreement to release the show on DVD, but they were able to release this, which I don't understand. So they must have come to an agreement on that. So after that Batman series, after that TV show, basically, after that ended, that was the end of Batman. I mean, I'm talking about TV and movie wise. Um, it wasn't until Superman came out in 1978 that people started sitting there and being like, you know what, we could do a Batman movie and we could actually, have it be a movie, have it be like an action film, like Superman. And a lot of people sat around and they were like, oh, Batman. Everyone, anytime someone thinks of Batman, they think of Adam West and they think of the 60s TV show. And I don't think that people well, the studio knew that they could do something, and it took them a long time because I believe they started talking about Batman after Superman came out, and it was a good 10 years before, 11 years before, between Superman and Batman, and it took them a while. It took them a long while before they actually were able to get the movie up and going. So finally, in '89, they shot in '88, but in '89 they were able to come out with the first Batman film. This was directed by Tim Burton, and it starred Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. Michael Keaton is Batman, Jack Nicholson is the Joker, and this movie was a fucking hit. And it was dark and gritty. It had a lot of humor, and it was just a fun action film. And there was I don't know. I mean, I don't read comic books, so I don't know anything about Batman. It's hard because now with Christopher Nolan's movies out, these Batman films come off very silly and just goofy, and I don't know, but I just rewatched Batman and Batman Returns, and they are good movies still. I mean, they are what they are, and Christopher Nolan's movies are what they are. And you really can't compare the two because they're just very different in tone, and they're just. I would say that the Batman films, the Tim Burton, the Tim Burton movies are adventure movies, and Christopher Nolan's movies are action drama. So it's just they're different. Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger perform two completely different versions of the Joker, like completely different. And there's there are people out there that like the Joker, Jack Nicholson, and like Heath Ledger, and there's no like coming together. They will not. They can't accept both. And I sit here and I'm like, you know what? My favorite Joker, Heath Ledger. He made that character incredibly psychotic, just fucking crazy out of his mind. Jack Nicholson was just he was out of his mind, and he was homicidal, but he was I honestly felt like he was just there just to make jokes. And I understand Joker, but Heath Ledger, I don't know how to explain it. Heath Ledger's version of it was very different. But I'm getting off track here. So, after Batman was a mega hit, sequel. So, Batman Returns came out. And Batman Returns is much darker, much grittier, not quite along the lines of Christopher Nolan's movies, but they were darker. I mean, there was some really dark shit in here for if you compared this one with the original one, because, I mean, people are fucking killed, and there's body parts, and the Penguin bites some guy in the nose, and literally blood sprays out. So, yeah, this one was definitely weird. And the thing that always stuck out with me with Batman Returns was the fact that the Penguin was, like, a mongoloid, I guess. I mean, he was, like, deformed, whatever. His fingers were all fucking together, and he fucking was, like, waddling around and shit. Anyway, so yeah, I mean that was the first Batman movie aside from Adam West one that had more than one villain, and then that was a staple for all of the Batman movies. Which honestly, that was part of its downfall. You don't need to. Why do you need two villains? You don't. Moving on, Batman Forever. When I was a kid, this was always my favorite Batman movie. Now as an adult, I stick with the original two. Out of these four, if I had to pick any, I'd probably go with the original one as my favorite. This one was when it started getting goofy. Like I said, it's hard with Christopher Nolan's movies out to watch these and not think they're fucking goofy, because you look at Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, and then you look at Aaron Eckhart as Two-Face in Dark Knight, and you're like, wow, Tommy Lee Jones is a fucking idiot, because his performance is incredibly over the top. He's fucking goofy. He's more the Joker than Two-Face. And then we have Jim Carrey as the Riddler, and it's just the Joker again. Basically, you just have two Jokers in Batman Forever. And Val Kilmer's awful. I like Val Kilmer. I mean, I got nothing against the man, but, like, he sucks as Batman. He's not the worst, though. Not by a long shot, because the worst is right here. I remember, this movie came out when I was 13, and I remember going to see this movie and loving it. I mean, like, really loving it, because I had the VHS copy. I mean, I loved this movie. As I got older, I realized how much of an idiot I was, because Batman and Robin is one of the worst movies I have ever seen in my entire life. I have made a list of my top 100 worst films of all time. I might actually do a video on that. I'm not really 100% sure if I will or not, so don't take that as a promise. But, like, I haven't. I think it's number 3. It's terrible. I fucking hate this movie. George Clooney's a terrible Batman. Just terrible. I mean, if Adam West, at the age he was in '97, had played Batman and Batman and Robin would have been a better movie. That's how bad he is. Then you've got Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, and he's just a fucking joke. I mean, all the fucking ice references and ice puns, that's the word I wanted to use, and just absolutely terrible. You got Chris O'Donnell, who's I thought was terrible in Batman Forever, and he's terrible, and he's even worse in Batman and Robin. Uma Thurman, great actress, terrible in this movie. I mean, just I hate this movie. And then you have Alicia Silverstone, who I can't stand in anything. She is a terrible actress. I don't like her. Do not like her. And she was terrible in this movie. Like, her performance is ridiculously terrible. This movie should fucking be burned. They should burn every copy of it. The only reason I own this is because I bought the whole fucking set. So I wanted the first 3. I don't give a shit about Batman and Robin. I can't even sit through that movie anymore. I get to the end of the opening scene and I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to watch this anymore. And then, of course, like I said, I'm not a comic book reader, so I don't know anything about the comic books, but I was introduced to Bane through Batman and Robin. In Dark Knight Rises, completely different character. Okay, now that we have talked about the Batman films, and yes, I do realize I left out Batman Mask of the Phantasm, and I'm going to answer this with this answer. Yes. I haven't seen it in a long time, so I can't really comment on it. I don't really remember anything about it. So that's why I'm not commenting on it. Okay, moving on to Batman Begins. So after Batman and Robin tanked at the box office, I guess they had planned another Batman film called Batman Triumphant. And it was going to have the Scarecrow in it. And apparently, this is actually what I would have been more interested in seeing, is that Jack Nicholson was actually going to come back as the Joker in a hallucination from the Scarecrow's hallucinogenic gas. So that would have been interesting. I'm glad they didn't make it, because it probably would have been awful. So, Batman Begins. 8 years after Batman and Robin. I saw the movie, I don't think it was opening day. No, because I don't remember. I was in Hollywood at the time, and I wanted to see a movie at Grauman's Chinese Theater, so that's what they were playing that week. And we went and saw it. They had the fucking Batmobile tumbler thing, like, literally right outside the theater. And we sat there and watched the movie, and I didn't like it. For a long time, I named that one of the worst movies of 2005, because I just did not like it. Flash forward to Dark Knight, and those trailers fucking blew me away. I was so excited to see the movie just based on those trailers. And So I watched Batman Begins again in 2008, and I liked it again. I liked it. So I'm not really sure what it was that I didn't like the first time. I guess because it's an origin story, and origin stories are usually boring, and um, I didn't know who the fuck Ra's al Ghul was. I didn't really care. I wanted to see. I was so used to the other Batman movies that this one just wasn't what I wasn't what I was looking for. So I didn't like it at first. Time's gone by. It's a good movie. It's still my least favorite of the three Nolan films, but it was good for what it was. It was definitely a change in tone, much more realistic, and stuff like that. Dark Knight though, um, is my personal favorite. However, I think Dark Knight Rises is a much better film. I like Dark Knight because I love Heath Ledger's Joker. I love Two-Face. I wish he had been in the movie more. So Dark Knight is definitely still my favorite. Dark Knight Rises, however, if I had to put them in order, it would go Rises, Dark Knight, and Batman Begins, because Dark Knight Rises is a pretty badass film. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody, but if you haven't seen it already, but Dark Knight Rises, it's almost a 3-hour movie, but it definitely doesn't feel like it. I've had a bunch of people tell me they didn't really like it because it dragged on at certain points, and I'm like, I can see where people said it dragged on, but to me, it didn't drag on at all. I really was entertained by the film. Bane is a fucking badass. I mean, he is literally a fucking badass. I mean, he literally beats the fucking shit out of Batman in one scene. And the end of the movie, again, I'm not going to give anything away, but the end of the movie is absolutely perfect. I had a friend tell me the other day that the last 5 minutes of the movie were the best, and I'll agree with him, because the way the movie ends is like really, really awesome. I saw, like I said, I saw the midnight showing, and people were fucking cheering at the end and cheering when Batman first shows up, and like it just, there's applause after applause, and it was so much fun. But yeah, like I said, Batman Dark Knight Rises is the best one out of the three, and we'll have to see where Hollywood goes with Batman after this, because I I don't think they can do it any better. I think any reboot is going to kind of hurt the franchise, because uh, those movies were perfect. I don't know how else to say it. That's really what they should do with Superman. I'm hoping Man of Steel is gonna do that. I saw the teaser for Man of Steel. They really don't show you anything, so I can't really say if it's going to be like that or not. I hope it is. I hope. I know Man of Steel's a reboot. I just really hope, and I know they're gonna go through the origin. So I hope it's not. I just watched the '78 Superman last week or something, and that movie's boring. It is. I can't get through it. It's so fucking boring. I was 15 minutes into the movie, and he wasn't even an adult yet. I mean, it's the origin's so slow. Everyone knows Superman's origin. Tell it in half an hour tops, and then move on. We don't need to see, oh God, he's awkward in high school. He's awkward as a child. He needs to go and fucking find the Fortress of Solitude. And then, oh look, here's Lex Luthor and his real estate plan. We don't need all that stuff. So, enough of the origin stories, okay? But that's it. That's all I got to say about the Batman movies. By the way, I just realized this. I do have Batman Begins and Dark Knight on Blu-ray. I don't know why I didn't show those. But again, I apologize for the lack in videos. I hope you guys like this kind of video, because if you like this kind of video, then I will continue to do videos like this. Because these are easier to do. Just put the fucking camera there and talk. So, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for still being subscribed to me after a 4-month gap. And watch my other video, the Britney Spears video, because that actually that took me a long time to do. So watch that, please. And thanks, guys.